fans watching around the world, this is the moment you've all been waiting for.
Let's get straight into the episode.
Too skitty, yeah, we heading for the sun. Shawty got my high, I ain't tripping for the funds. Yeah, I won't start, I ain't tripping, I'm a stun.
All right, and we're back. Change of clothes, everyone. I'm in my pajamas because I didn't go to plan. We didn't end up picking up last night. We were picking up this morning, but we came back, and yes, Daniel won his fight. It was a great night, great experience, and Lachie, I want to know what your experience was on the whole first time going to an MMA.
Yeah,
event.
It's insane, dude. Like only time, as I was saying before, I've watched like UFC and stuff on TV, and yeah, just the hearing the sounds, impacts of the hits, like you don't get that on TV.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know how hard someone's getting hit when you hear it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just more like you're there in person, and it's just a bit more intense, I reckon.
Yeah.
Even the atmosphere of the crowd too is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was awesome. It's cool. I liked how much support Daniel had. You know, his whole family came out, cousins, aunties.
Yeah,
all his friends, his mates, his brother's friends.
Yeah,
it was mad. So such a good gym. ATT. They're so good together.
Well, they won like what the majority of all the fights. They might have had while we were there, they might have lost one.
Yeah, I think the girl fight. Yeah, which was a mad fight. The girls,
bro. Honestly, like we were saying, like. Fucking hell, mate! Imagine her like boyfriend, husband, mate. You know, honey, can you do the dishes? Yes.
I'd love to do the dishes.
I love doing the dishes. You know, like, give me more chores. You know, just don't fucking armbar me again. You know.
She just looks at you. She had a mean look too. Like
oh, she looked ferocious, man.
Yeah.
Like, and the chick who won, her parents sitting in front. Man, they're so funny. They're real well-to-do, kind of like. Typical proper suburban white, like, you know, can I pay with my credit card? You know, type vibe. And there's your daughter just fucking going to pound town. It just, it was crazy.
I loved it, bro. I loved the jokes we were making too. Yes, darling. Whatever you say, darling.
Yeah, what was it like? Oh, honey, do you think you could just clean your room? What, cunt? Oh, no, it's okay. I'll do it.
It's just a suggestion. Yeah, it's like, well, you can imagine the car ride home. She's in the back. Just, her parents are like, you did lovely, sweetie. I'm very proud of you. What would you like for dinner?
Cock. Blood. Meat.
Yeah. I don't care. Give me it raw. She was scary, bro. To be honest, that girl. And the other girl, she was like pulling her hair and shit at one point, and I watched her like just couldn't get out of it. And then the other girl started to beat her up a bit more because she was pulling her hair. Yeah. And then as soon as she let go, she goes, "Let go of my hair, bitch!" And then she just went in and just bang, bang. Yeah, it was mad. I could never imagine dating a fighter girl.
No, man.
A lot of fighter girls date fighter guys. Like it's been like a thing for. Like UFC and One Champion and all these things. And they get in full fights. The boys and girls are getting punch-ons, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Imagine that. Imagine getting full punch-ons with your missus and she beat you up.
Yeah, like, it's not even DV at that point. It's like me and my like missus just having an argument or them smashing each other is the equivalent to that. Like,
no, mouth guards in, bro.
Yeah.
In the lounge.
Oh, you want to talk about this? Right, gloves on, mate.
Yeah,
let's
go
go
outside, bring your mouth guard.
Fuck it.
That's how you settle shit with your missus.
It's fucking date night, mate. She wants to go there. You want to go here. All right, gloves on.
First to sleep, bro.
Yeah, first to sleep.
Yeah. Nah, good night, bro. I'm glad. I'm very glad you came and did it. Very, very glad.
It was good, man.
It's been a long time since I've seen you, man. Yeah. I'm actually going to try and take advantage and see you in the next few weeks and actually make the trip up to Nui.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely will. Because it's not enough time.
Yeah, for real.
I think the podcast is an indication that there wasn't enough time because it's what actually you came here to do and we haven't done that much of it.
It's probably been like, what, 1% of fucking the whole thing.
Nah, it's awesome. I can't remember where we left off, but I do know that we were talking about the links between religion and mythology and cultures around the world.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I've mentioned for podcasts in a row so far has, since you brought it up, I'll bring it up again, is the link between the Islamic belief, traditional biblical belief, the Hinduism belief, Buddhism, and then every religion that dates back before that. But the 4 easy ones I like to name off are Hinduism, Muslim, Buddhism, and Christianity.
Yeah.
And the link between the 4 main ones is interesting if anyone wants to look into it, because it starts to link all the rest of them. And that's the Islamic belief believes that Muhammad is the last prophet to ever walk this earth.
Yeah.
But they believe everything the Bible said, except Jesus Christ wasn't the son of God. He was a prophet just like Moses and Isaac and Josiah and everyone that came before him.
They're all Abrahamic religions, which is, you know, Abraham in the Bible had all of his sons and stuff. That all happened, you know, in Judaism and Torah, Islam with the Quran and everything. So, yeah, it's weird. Like the Middle East, man, it's such a fucking diverse group of people with all their different religions, but they're so similar as well.
Yeah.
You know, like Allah is the same,
it's the same word.
Same as the Christian God, you know?
Yeah, it's the same word for God.
Yeah, Allah is God,
Yeah. And the interesting thing is like Jesus Christ in his lost years, which I was just talking about a couple podcasts, maybe last podcast in real time, but a few podcasts ago in podcast world. But me and Scully were talking about the fact that Jesus Christ in his lost years is not referenced in the Bible. Like there's a lot of time between, you know, teenagehood and early adulthood that is missing. That's why they call the lost years. Yeah. And what scholars prophesize is that he went to go study Buddhism, and he went over to India and he learned about all these things. So he studied Buddhism, which is why when he came back and his message he preached is very similar to the Enlightenment message that Buddhism is, because he found enlightenment, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Buddha himself, he was a Hindu his whole life, so he grew up with the same mythology and culture as the Hindus, and then and that's why the symbol for peace in Buddhism is the same symbol as peace in Hinduism, which is like the swastika. That's
the
45,
the good swastika,
the good swastika,
not the bad one.
The swastika without, and then you got the swastika harder.
Swastika harder,
yeah, and that's how he grew up his life as a Hindu, and then Buddha just preached his own version of that. Yeah. So that's as far back as the easy forego, but they all come from traditions before that. And then that's how you learn to blend Sikh into the same kind of mythologies. And the Norse and the Christians, their gods became one and combined when they had to try and turn the, not the caveman, the pagans into a civilized culture. You know, like the fish thing, the fish head that the Catholic priest wears is the fish god, which is a kind of stolen story from the Christians when Jesus Christ called all those fish out of the water by praying and creating the miracle. That worship of the fish is what the pagans used to do. The Catholics were like, we'll take your God if you just like calm down a bit.
Yeah, no, the pagans, a lot of what we would deem as, say, like, you know, a Christian type thing, or, you know, an event or something they do or believe in. It's like a lot of, it's entwined with paganism and stuff. It's really crazy. And then, like back in the day, you had there was wars between like the pagans and then I guess Christians. Yeah. And they kind of almost like amalgamated in a sense where it was like they took everything, kind of a bit of both from everything. Or you had, you know, your traditional pagans, and when the, say, English back in the day invaded into more Europe, it was like, righto, like you're all fucking Catholics now. Yeah. And then they were, but they still had their traditions and stuff, and it just it's really weird.
It's mad.
Yeah, a lot of I can listen to a lot of like history podcasts and stuff about all that, and it kind of just makes you think like there's so much about history that you don't know.
Yeah,
you know, it's
well, it's like you think everything's so farly vast, but it's actually all
connected.
It's like the same thing as happens when you look at the people who own media, the people who own. Like when you start to look at apps, like it turns out that Facebook or Meta now is the same people that own Snapchat, Instagram, not Snapchat, but Instagram, WhatsApp, freaking. Yeah. There's like a million other things that's all owned by the same people. And YouTube is owned by Google, and like everything kind of just, it's always a pyramid, bro, at the end of everything. And so does religion. So does religion. It all leads to one. It's like my mate Damo was telling me that we have all our days of the week based on what the pagans worshipping was. Like Thursday, it was Thor's day because it was the day you worship Thor. And same, that's the only one I remember because it's the only one he told me. And then you have like the idea of Santa Claus and all these ideas of gifts and things on Christmas, because further back than the
that's pagan as
Vikings,
well. Christmas, yeah.
It even goes further back than that to like the Dead Sea Scrolls, which was the first traditional worshipping book that they can find. They believed that the idea of Santa coming down was like a symbolism for taking a psychedelic trip off eating mushrooms, and you know, Terence McKenna, who was a famous philosopher and psychedelic expert, he believed that the reason monkeys became humans through evolution
was just the stoned ape theory.
The stoned ape theory was because they started to indulge in mushrooms and have psychedelic awareness for the first time, and start to have interconnected connectivity.
Yeah,
and that ideology was passed down through time and time again. And it's like, even in the Bible, it's like a book of metaphors, for example. So say Jesus Christ was the Son of God who walked on water. That was just a worship from worshipping the sun as it came up in the morning and watching the sun walk across the water.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, 'cause that's how it looked. It looked like the sun would be coming towards you as it's going up in the sky.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy, bro. It's just, I will never stop trying to fucking figure this puzzle out. You know what I mean? Like, where's the origin?
Yeah, it's one of those things you just never know, man. You know, like, fuck.
I'll never know, but I want to know. I want to try and know.
Nah, it's good. You got to have a bit of curiosity, but you get a bit deep.
It's like the word God. How do you even define it? Like, how do you even define the word God?
Dog backwards, mate.
Yeah. Jordan Peterson's good at defining God, because one of my favorite ones that he did was like, let's just talk about Noah's Ark, for example, which is my favorite biblical story. He said the definition of God in that story is Noah, who got a message from God that there's going to be a cataclysmic event.
Yeah.
So let's build a boat at the highest place we can. The definition of God in that story is a wise man who could foresee something bad happening. Could have been clouds, could have been an immense weather pattern, it could have been something. He had an intuition to prepare.
Yeah.
You know, trust in yourself. He had a gut feeling. That's the definition of God in the Bible, in that story.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you talk about it from that sense, God isn't just a bearded man in the sky who is literally, or a science kid in grade 2 creating his own lab experience and his own in a dimension higher than ours.
Yeah.
God is internal. God is from within yourself, you know? Like, it's fucking amazing, bro. One of my other favorite stories is from the Bible, when I think it was Moses had his first encounter from God standing next to the burning bush, and the bush caught alight.
Yeah.
That has been, scholars have tried and broke that down to realize that if he was standing next to an acacia plant, and that's what the drawings look like, he was standing next to, and based on where he was at the time, it most likely was, that plant is rich in DMT. Yeah, so he was probably having a psychedelic trip when he had his first encounter from God.
Maybe that's why he was wigging out a bit, like, fuck, got to sacrifice my first son, mate. Fuck, this little cunt, think Moses there going, like, fucking hell, this cunt's messy cave, man. He doesn't... He doesn't wash the eating rock, mate. He's fucking Moses having a bad day, man. He went out at some DMT. He's like, fuck, I gotta kill this little cunt. He's fucking hell, man. I'm over it.
He's eating all my shit,
bro. He's eating all my fucking mammoth, mate, that I just fuck,
mad. Dude. I heard recently, I don't know if it's true or not, but I think they're trying to recreate a mammoth through science at the moment, and they want to start trying to release them.
Yeah, fuck. There's probably, I can't remember. But yeah, if there's some like well-preserved tissue or something, they could maybe pull some DNA out of. I don't know though how, because like they cloned a sheep, Dolly the sheep, how they cloned that, but like I don't know if they needed, like obviously Dolly had like the DNA, and then I don't know if Dolly birthed its clone. I'm not sure if that's how it has to work.
Yeah.
So whether or not you can pull the DNA out, but like, what do you do? Like, where do you put it? How do you grow this thing? Like,
Well,
I don't know, can you chuck it in an elephant or something, man? I don't know.
Well, I think that's what they're planning on doing. They're taking the DNA and they're inseminating it into a elephant, and the elephant's going to birth a mammoth.
Fucking hell.
I think that's what they're planning on doing, which is pretty wild, eh?
That is wild.
But the shit they can do is crazy. Do you know that they can grow lab-grown steaks and shit?
Oh, yeah.
And
Well, they also
organs,
grow organs as
for
well.
humans and animals and shit, bro.
Yeah.
Transplants. Imagine growing an organ, bro, out of a
And it's good
lab.
too. Like, I think, as you know, when you get like a donor and stuff, it's got to be very specific to your blood type and the proteins you have. Otherwise, your body will reject it.
Yeah.
Or you can go on like immunosuppressants, which is like stops your body from attacking. But then the offset of that is, you can fucking die of pneumonia because your immune system's not rolling as well because you got to stop it from attacking your new kidney or whatever. So like a lab grown organ, really good because it's your DNA.
Yeah.
And so then when it comes back into your body's like, oh yeah, sweet. Like,
Yeah. Also, they take it from you and they fucking grow it.
Yeah. Well, that would be the
Yeah,
idea,
yeah,
is to be able to decode your DNA, like, mapping the genome, which I think they've fucking almost like they always say like, oh yeah, we've mapped the human genome like back in like the 80s or something. But then I think even recent, they've actually gone, no, like we've actually legit done it.
Wow.
So it's kind of then you look through the sequence, go find the kidney fucking part, slap that down, and yeah, it's
Bro,
crazy.
we're in no time away at all from being able to take someone's embryo and know if that person's going to become a psychopath or not. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but that brings up the debate though of whether like nature versus nurture.
Yeah.
Like, are you a psychopath because you're born like it, or is it a result of your upbringing and stuff? But it's definitely a combo.
Oh,
of
yeah, it
both.
would have to be a combination. I reckon everyone's got a bit of psychopath in them. I reckon everyone's
Everyone's got some dog in them. A little bit of dog in them, man.
Yeah, it's true. And I think that it's the same as like, I think the homosexuality debate. I think some people have to be born that. I don't know if you can ever really grow up, because I think about it from this sense. It's like, I've been chasing girls since I was fucking 3, bro. Like as far back as I can. I remember my first girlfriend, it was Taylor. I was in primary school. I still love that bitch. It's like, I can't, no one could ever convince me to be gay.
Yeah.
Like, it's not possible. So I don't understand how someone who's gay and they realize they're gay, they could be 10 or fucking 20, who knows? Like, no one could convince that guy if he was actually straight. No one could have. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. So I think you have to be born it.
I think,
so if you have to be born with a sexual preference, maybe you have to be born with a emotional preference, well,
100%.
evil
Or a tendency,
preference.
man. You're predisposed. You might, it's like having like, being predisposed to like schizophrenia and stuff.
Yeah.
You might not get it, but it might be much more likely that you do compared to, say, a typical dude or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a weird thing. Like, because there's always that debate, like, is it nature, is it nurture? I'm like, bro, it's combo. It has to be a combo.
Yeah, it has to be a combo. I think that, like, so schizophrenia is a good example to reference it off because, like, say, for example, I can't smoke dope at all. I just physically can't, because if I have a toke of a joint, I feel the fucking schizophrenia coming out. Like, I smoked for years. I reckon I was high for 2 years at one point. And one day it was just over. I just was like, oh my God, what's happening inside my brain right now? I cannot handle the idea of everyone else's thoughts. Like, it was just some weird
Crazy paranoia, man. Yeah.
Crazy trip I was having.
Yeah.
But then every single time I even had a sniff of bud ever since then, it's like I could feel that coming back. So it's like I understand now when people say it opens the door to schizophrenia, because I probably had that tendency for it to be a real thing.
Or even just like, getting into psychosis and stuff as well. You don't have to have schizo to get into a psychotic state either.
Yeah.
But yeah, freaky stuff. I think, drugs is just a fucking wig out.
Yeah.
Like,
drugs are a wig out no matter what drug it is. Every drug has its own little trip you have to go through. I am the weird person on the internet where I actually promote the idea of people taking drugs for an experimental point of view. You know what I mean? Like, I think that everyone should experience going to a festival and taking MDMA. I think everyone should experience session with the boys at 16 years old, going to the park. I think
with the gator bug, mate.
Yeah. I think everyone should experience a hotel bender that goes way too long on way too much rack and ruining your fucking week for work. But I think that everyone should stop it. You should try it, but everyone should not continue to do it. You know?
Yeah.
To be honest, bro, I think if ice wasn't as fucked up, I think that everyone should try it. You know what I mean? Like if it was like pharmaceutical
grade meth.
Yeah. I'd try. I'd do it before a festival if I got it out of a chemist.
Mate, it'd be like, if it's like a 3-day festival, mate. Oh, good.
Yeah.
just have me medical grade meth, bro.
Yeah. Hit the med tent every 8 hours, double check. Yep, I'm all good. Yep, sweet.
Yeah. Check my vitals and all.
Yeah.
Yep, sweet.
Yeah.
It's funny just before as well, you're saying like everyone's got a little bit of like psycho, you know, everyone's got that dog in them.
Yeah.
Fucking, I reckon my psycho comes out when I'm driving.
Yeah.
Man, like, cunts on the road.
Really? You got road rage?
Mate, because like, I do things pretty, like when I'm driving especially, I'm trying to do it efficiently, right, you know, and the right lane is reserved for people like me, but if you're in the left lane, this is good, like, fuck off. Or just people slamming the brakes, man. And I'm usually pretty chill kind of guy, but once I'm behind the wheel, everyone just pisses me off.
Yeah.
It's like that primal urge of like, I hate you. Fucking get out of my way, mate.
Yeah. I'm the opposite, dude. I couldn't care at all when I'm in the car.
Really?
If I'm in person, I'm more likely to get the shits at someone who's like in my way. If I'm in the shopping centre.
Shops, bro. What about them cunts who just
park their trolley up in the middle?
Or they just dawdle. Like, you know, there'll be like fucking a family full of big fatties or something, and they just waddle.
In a fucking
instead of being in a single file line, they come in, they're just all three of them, and you're like, pick up the pace, or move.
I'm not sure. I'd kick someone's foot. I don't care.
Bro, a little ankle tap.
As their foot comes up, I kick the bottom of it. I'm not shy.
Bro, one I hate too is these people who like walking down and they just head in their phone, man.
Yeah.
And they just waddle, like talk like real slow, and then you go to overtake, and then they just kind of merge this way, and you're like, fuck. And then you go the other way, and they don't know, man. Like, get your head out of your phone. Like, nothing's that important.
No, I'm with you. I'm the same. I can't handle it in person, but behind a wheel, it's because I had a work truck for a long time.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get somewhere fast. There was no point. Like it was a energy efficient automatic. So it was an automatic manual kind of in a way where it would change the gears for you, but you just turn it to energy efficiency mode. So you didn't have to. So you changed the gears. But you could just put on energy, eco mode, I think it was called, and it would get to a certain amount of revs, and then it would do its thing. So because of that, you had to just cruise.
Yeah,
you can't just fucking huck a right and gap it, because if you huck a right, you gap it, the car would take its time before it changed gears anyway.
Yeah.
So I kind of just learned to be patient. So now I couldn't care at all how long it takes me to get somewhere. I'm not even watching the road. I'm just listening to music, podcasts. I'm on my phone.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I'm left lane all day, but. The reason why people get so aggressive behind the wheel, they reckon it's because you feel normal because you're in your day-to-day state, just like you wake up, you walk to your car, get in your car, you drive, but your senses are going so rapid and firing so quickly because you're traveling at such a fast speed. And your brain, like the humans weren't designed to be operating something that takes them 100 kilometers per hour.
Yeah.
We're only running distance type of creatures.
Yeah.
So your sensors are firing so quickly, looking around, double checking how long is this guy going to take if he wants to hit me, should I have enough gap, all these things. You can't tell what's happening subconsciously, but you're freaking the fuck out the whole time. Your conscious mind is sober. It's just calm, bro. It's smooth flowing. You can't tell, but backstage, bro, there's a fucking fire, and they're trying to put that shit out. You know?
I find it as well. Like, it's not like I'm necessarily frustrated. Well, I do get frustrated when I'm like, fucking, you know, trying to get somewhere. But my biggest thing is just like stupidity. You know, like you'll have someone pulling up to a roundabout, and like even I can see from the car back, if it's open, there's no cars coming, just cruise through. No, let's just go to a crawling speed.
Yeah.
Don't fucking make me put this into fucking first gear, man. I'm in second, just crawling. Don't make clutch in, fuck you. Why are you stopping, man? You know? Or, like there was one time, this was like, I bought a dash cam because like I drive around heaps for work, and this was like before I was like service tech and stuff, and I had to drive maybe like 20 minutes, kind of one side of Newcastle, the other. And I was amazed at how people are fucking shit at driving, and so I bought it because I used to see like close calls or little accidents here, and I was like, fuck, I need a dash cam, man. I posted on the dash cam Australia thing, and so like one of the first days I had it was at a like really busy roundabout. Saw 2 car accidents in fucking like 5 seconds, man. It was like someone was crawling up to a roundabout, hit the brakes, stopped, and fuck someone rear-ended him. I was like, wow, that just happened.
Yeah.
And then someone else like fucking went around them because obviously they'd pull over, and then they turned left, and then someone come through and just fucking hit the tail end of him.
Wow.
And I'm like,
Wow.
you people are fucked.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
you know,
I
insane.
seen a bad accident the other day where this car went over another car, dude, like flattened the top of this car.
Yeah.
Everyone got out of the car, no injuries. I was amazed. It was nuts. I've seen a couple bad ones. I've had a lot of bad ones myself.
Yeah.
There was a stage when I was younger and more irresponsible, especially on the road and on the weekends, and that didn't help on the road. But I reckon I paid 15 grand 1 year in excess.
Jesus.
Oh my God, I crashed and crashed, bro.
I haven't had any real big serious crashes. I had when I like got my P's, it was like I had my P's for 3 weeks. I had a AU Falcon XR6, the Ute.
Yeah.
And it was real funny. I was like, so I went to Macca's. My mum and dad were like, oh, fuck, Friday night I'll get a feed from Macca's. I was like, yeah. And I went down to Macca's, and like the back road of a house, it's got that real hairpin turn. It's for like those at home, it's literally like a straight 90. It's hard as, and because I was a bit of a dickhead, P's and stuff, I'm like, fuck yeah. And I hit the corner hard, man. And I remember Dad telling me, not to blame you, Dad, but he was saying like when he's driving, accelerate into a corner, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like whizzing up the back road, and it was dark, and I just misjudged it, and I accelerated into the corner, but I slid out, and I kind of perfectly drifted it. Like it was a mad drift, perfect. But the car went like if you imagine like the road kind of goes like that, my car was like horizontal, perfectly kind of around the corner, and I caught traction sideways, and I like bang up a tree stump, man, and it wasn't that bad. Like I wrote the Falcon off, but it still could drive it. But when Rego came next year, but it was kind of fucked up because that corner, there's been a few deaths where like people don't hit that corner, and they hit the embankment. They don't turn; they just go straight bang. And there was I think one accident where some dude hit the embankment, fucking car in flames, he burnt to death. But the neighbours, right? So where I crashed, man, I was sitting there like in front of this fucking tree stump, bush and shrubs. I was like, fuck. And I was like, fucking hell. I just sat there like, oh, you idiot. And then the neighbours come out and they were on the phone to the police.
Yeah.
Because obviously all the crashes before, on 000. And so I'm sitting there like, fucking hell. And these neighbours come around and they're like knocking on the window and put it down like, oh, you all right? You all right? I said, yeah, I'm all good. And they were like, can you get out of the car? And there was just a shrub. Like my door was fine, but there's a shrub next to the door. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, no, I can't. There's a shrub. I can't. He's trapped in the car. So I ended up having... What got back to the coppers was like there was multiple people trapped in a car. But it was just myself and I was fine.
Yeah,
I wasn't trapped. And so I had like fucking... It must have been a slow night that day because every cunt was out, like 6 highway patrols, 2 ambos, fireys, fucking rescue squad, mate, everything. And I rang Dad and I just said, oh, hey, Dad, I crashed my car.
Yeah.
Like, what happened? I was like, I went around the corner and he goes, oh, yeah, what happened? I was like, oh, there's a kangaroo and I swerved. He's like, righto. And he comes up and all the coffers start showing up and Dad comes, he goes, all right, so what happened? I said, oh, the kangaroo, blah, blah. And he goes, no, mate, what really happened?
Yeah.
I just said, I was going too quick.
Yeah.
As what are you going to tell the police? Yeah, the truth. Anyway, copper comes up and I told him what happened and he was like, oh, look, mate, a bit accident, I know, but everyone's out here, man. So I'm going to have to do you for neg driving and all the rest of it. And there you go. 3 points gone. Some red P plate at 1 point. Fucking whatever the fine was for like $350 or something. And yeah, pretty embarrassing. But that was my only serious thing.
Yeah.
Which is good, which I'm lucky because even though I drive like a bit of a fucking maniac sometimes, I'm careful.
Yeah.
I think you got to be confident when you're driving.
Yeah.
Like,
you gotta be safe, bro. It's hard. It's hard, but like a safe driver is a confident driver.
it is because like when people hesitate or there's confusion on the roads, like that's when shit happens. Because if you're like, oh fuck, yes, no, and you, and the same person, person's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You just got to commit, man.
Yeah.
You're pulling out in that intersection.
Yeah.
Just fucking go.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I'm with you. I if a cop comes like in that situation, I try and lie. I try and lie. I remember one time I lost my license. I was doing 45 over, driving home 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
It was like M7, as I said, 2 a.m. I'm like, there's no one on the road. So I'm just gapping 145, 150, whatever it is. And then there's a cop waiting on a pull out anyway. So he catches me like fucking 5-10 kilometers down the road. He was not happy by the time he got to me.
Yeah.
And then he's like, anyway, instant loss of license, blah, blah, blah. You have to get someone to come pick you up.
Yeah.
My phone was messing up too, so I kind of had the shits. Anyway, I was having a bad day.
Yeah.
Too long of a day at work. Anyway, he makes me pull over and wait. And he's saying, someone coming? I'm saying, yeah, someone's coming, dude. Someone's coming. He waits about an hour with me.
Fuck.
And then he's like, all right, well, mate, if they're coming, just fucking make sure you get your car eventually tomorrow or whatever. I don't leave it here. I was like, no worries. As soon as he left, I was like, I didn't call anyone.
Nope,
I'm going. Hey, I just fucking took off, followed him. Ended up getting back home, thought about it, and I was like, I can't not have a license. Like, I may as well just risk this, you know? So I drove to work for a couple of days.
Yeah.
About 4 days later, I'm drive out of my driveway, pull up. There's a cop sitting right there at the top of the street, like waiting for me.
Yeah.
I drive past him. As soon as I drive past him, lights are going on as I'm going past him. I'm like, fuck.
Yep. Fuck.
Chances of it being for me are pretty unlikely. I know, why would he be waiting? Pulls me over 10 meters down the road. Gets out of the car. He goes, you got a license? I was like, yeah, no worries. Pulled out me fucking spare. I was like, no worries, dude. And he's looking at it and he's like, license is expired. I said, no worries. No. I think what he did was, as soon as, I think he might have said, Jake, how are you, mate? You got a license.
Fuck, righto.
And it didn't click to me. I was like, oh, yeah, I got a license. Gave it to him. And I was thinking to myself, like, Jake, fuck, he already called me Jake.
Yeah.
And then he looks at it and he goes, license is expired, mate. You want to tell me about that? I was like, oh, is it? Oh, well, thanks, mate. I didn't even realise. I'm going to have to, guess I'd go get another one. Didn't even know they expired.
Fuck,
and he's like,
dumb.
And then he goes, right. Didn't even walk to his car yet. Just goes, it has nothing to do with the fact that you lost your license 4 days ago. And I just go, you got me.
Yeah, mate. What can you do, eh?
I've already fucking buried myself, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking fill the pile, bro.
Yeah, that's it, mate.
Just fucking pat me down with a shovel and fucking walk away.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I was stuck without a license for a long time after that. Long time. So then I finally got it back after about a year and a half. Had it for a short period of time. Driving through again, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. This car's behind me. The light's going red. I'm like, fucking no. If he's going through it, I'm going through it. Hook this fucking red light. So does him. It was a copper.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, bro. So he pulls me over. I'm thinking, damn it, I'm about to lose my points. But I'll be right. And he goes, so you realise you didn't have a license? And I said, no, I've got a license. And he's like, nah, you got unpaid fines. You don't have a license right now. So I got done without a license and freaking red light and speeding and all this bullshit. And then it turns out I didn't have a license because I didn't vote that year.
Yeah.
And I didn't pay the fine.
Yeah.
Fuck, and took my license away.
Take your license, yeah.
So then I had to deal with that. And then I think that was like another year disqualification. So I was like, fuck it, I can't not have a license again, dude. I've just got it back.
Yeah.
I'm still on my fucking green peas. I'm 22 now. So I ended up just risking it for the next fucking... I just risked it. Yeah. I got very lucky, even through COVID and stuff, when you weren't meant to be out driving. I got pulled into RBTs and stuff and checks. I just gave them my license because it wasn't taken off me. And
they don't even fucking run you. Like now with RBTs, man, they don't even check your license. It's like, just fucking count to 10 and it's all good.
So I've had a very lucky and unlucky experience with driving.
Yeah.
It's taught me, the biggest thing it taught me was just to follow the rules.
Don't be a dickhead.
Follow the rules. There's no point in trying to fucking be the 1% of people who just drive as fast as they want or just do whatever they want on the road. I used to have my saying was, I do what I want. It was like, I do what I want. I wear what I can't remember, something like, I do what I want, I'll say what I want, and I'll drive wherever the fuck I want, however the fuck I want. And now it's like, I'm starting to lose all three of those. That's a young, dumb mindset.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, cars are... I remember this one time, like I went through a streak of little fucking prangs. So I bought this Navara, and I just had it, and it had a really long tray. So at the shops one day, fucking reversing out of park, and reverse cam was like, wasn't centered, it was like on the right hand side. Anyway, I was looking at that and I was like, I'm good. Fucking fuck, man. And I looked, I went, oh fuck. So I backed into someone. I was like, that's fucked. Then a couple of weeks after that, I was in an underground car park and there was no parks, and I was late for this like fucking doctor's appointment or something. I saw this park. I was like, oh fuck yeah, I'll make this. And I fucking turned in. I fucking scraped this car. I was like, are you fucking kidding? And then anyway, like the first guy I had to go through insurance, he was a fuckhead. And this lady walked out and saw her thing and was like, fuck. And I was like, oh, hey, that's me. I was just about to write up. And didn't go through insurance. She just got the fucking penalties, fixed it, sent me the bill, paid it, all good. And then it was really funny. I was driving home from work after like all this shit had happened. I was on the phone to mum and I was like, fuck mum, I've had like the worst luck with this and this, and it was a little bit rainy. Anyway, there's like these lights in Newey coming back from Cardiff, and it's always a green left, man. And anyway, the lights went amber, and there was this car, it was like this other car, this like Ford Ranger, and then there was me, and the lights just went amber. And what's this car do? Instead of just going around the amber light like a normal human, just brakes, slammed. And I'm on the phone to mum, and so then the ute in front of me slammed his brakes on, and because mine had a tray back, just skidded out, fuck, aquaplane, bang, right in the back of this guy. And I'm on the phone to mum saying, I've had just two little fucking accidents, and fucking rear-ended this bloke, slid into me, and I'm like, fuck me. And she was like, what? And I was like, I just had another fucking car crash. I'm literally on the phone to my mum saying, fuck, I've done some shit things recently. I'm a bad driver. And then I've just rear-ended this bloke. I'm like, cunt.
Yeah.
And anyway, we pull up and it was like a little scuff. He's a good guy. And he's just like, oh, I'm not worried, mate. But he goes, I do have reverse sensors in the back. So if they're damaged, I'll just fucking get that sorted. I'll flick you a bill or something. I said, yeah, that's fine. And never heard from him ever again.
Lucky.
So
Lucky you lost
after all that, I'm just like,
it's called the Blitz, bro. It's like you get the Blitz, and then it's your curse for a while, and then you just have to wait for the Blitz to pass on out of you. Yeah. And you just have to wait for someone else to catch the Blitz. In our trade, we created a name, me and some of the boys from our old company, called RSD, which is the refrigeration slump disease. Yeah, right. Which is like, when you get it, it's like you just fuck up your job. You go to the next job, you'll fuck up that job. You get in the car and you'll crash on the way to the next job. And you fuck it up. And you might have it for 4 days, bro. Refrigeration RSD. And then you just have to just fingers crossed someone else catches it. Someone else catches it. It's like a sickness, bro. It's like a disease, someone else gets it and you're good for fucking 2 years, bro.
You got immunity now,
Someone else has got it. And you're like, oh, thank God. And you feel bad for someone else when they have RSD, but you're just grateful it's not you.
Not you.
Because it's the way the world turns, bro. Yeah. Someone's got to have RSD.
You had your turn, mate.
Yeah. It's cool. It's interesting. I definitely have gone through many periods in my life where I've had just bad luck for months at a time, but it's been a long time since I've had it. It's cool. All right, well, considering the fact that it is the time it is, I can't let it go without asking you a couple questions out of this. It's called Deep Questions.
Yep, right. Let's do it.
It's a random computer-generated questions. I've had a lot of them before, but I'll try and find at least 2 of them before we wrap it up that I think it would be good for you.
Do you want them short and sharp, mate? Get to the point.
Yeah, however you want to answer it. Like, I'm happy, even if we just find two that are short and sharp or well good ones. Doesn't matter.
Like a deep question. Maybe we'll go short, sharp, get through a couple, mate.
Yeah, sweet. Oh, here's a good one. What have you never done but have dreamed of doing for a long time?
Fuck, I don't know. That's a really good question, man.
It could just be something on a bucket list, a place you want to go, an experience you want to experience. Like,
yeah.
could be a job you never tried doing. Could be...
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe just something fucking... Oh, I'd love to... Probably never happen, but fucking mad, like the wingsuits. Jump off in a wingsuit.
Wow.
I'd probably shit myself. I'd probably never do it, but fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine having an opportunity to do that. Or go to space or something, man, as well. Actually, I'd probably mad like a...
That's a possibility for the future.
Yeah, you're like, you know, how they do the little... they got those, like the SpaceX planes will take you up for a little cruise.
Yeah.
Like low. Like
they're in transit now too. They're taking people on trips.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. Go to space. That's a cool one.
Space. Let's say that one.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
Experience no gravity or low gravity.
Yeah.
Sick. Yeah.
Nice. I like that one. All right. Well, if I was going to pick a different one other than that, I'd probably say I'd love to experience... I'd like to go skydiving on my own. Without, you know...
Without the guy.
Yeah, without the guy. Yeah. I'd love to be able to... And then I would like to be able to take someone else with me. Yeah. That's what I like. I like that pressure. I like that power, that responsibility, that feeling. I like that gut feeling of, fuck, I better stick this landing. You know what I mean?
I better pull the fucking cord.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like that. Real. That's all right. I'll go with that one. What do you value most in life?
Fuck. Being genuine, I think, is a really good one for me. I like just knowing what someone, like what they're about, you know, and who they are. Like, I feel... Yeah, like just something, just genuine, you know, and I think if you're genuine and truthful and honest and stuff, mate, yeah, it goes a long way. And you can build good relationships, you know, there's a few people you might know where they're a bit fake or, you know, maybe you like them for who they actually are, but they put on a bit of a front, maybe they're a bit insecure and stuff, and it's like, dude, you don't need to do that. Yeah. But even just, being genuine, if someone fucks up, does something wrong, to put their hands up and say, hey, man, yep, that was me, I fucked up, or I did the wrong thing. Yeah. I think it's really cool. So just I think being genuine and honest is something I really like about people, and they are, if they, you know, you just get to know them better. I think it's something good to have genuineness.
Genuineness, that's a good answer.
Yeah, so that's something I really like, and that's easy for me to say.
Yeah. Speaking on genuine, I had the other day, I got to work, crazy shift. There was 1 meal left in the fridge. I haven't seen this Portuguese chicken meal in a long time. I'm like, buzzing for it. Chucked it, whacked a sticker on it, bought it, chucked it in the fridge, put my name on it. Yeah. Came back for smoko, my food wasn't there. Bro. I was livid, bro. I was livid. I'm like, I'm finding whoever ate this fucking food. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. There's no chance for me to go get Macca's. There's nothing around. I'm in the Blue Mountains. Yeah. The store's closed. So I went hunting, dude. I pressured, hey, did you have smoko yet? Did you have smoko yet? Eventually I found these two. Like, yeah, we had smoko. So did you eat food out of the fridge? Oh, no, we bring our own food. And I knew. I was like, you fucking did not. So I pulled the fucking wrapper out of my pocket. Did you fucking eat this out of the fridge? He goes, yes, I did. I'm sorry. I thought it was for everyone to eat. And I'm just like, oh, fuck, right. You want to eat fucking food on this job? You find me first. I don't care if you brought it from home or not. Get your fucking bank up out right now. I made him send me money. But I calmed down as soon as I realised that he admitted it. Yeah. You know what I mean? As soon as he admitted it, my voice really started to change because, like, I even thanked him for being honest about it. And I was like, you know what, just send me exactly what the bill cost. I looked up on my receipt. This is what it cost. It's fine. So I just went and fucking stole food. I was like, whatever. I was in a bad mood anyway. I told the builder I'm doing it. I don't care. Don't do it. Stole it. Whacked it straight in the microwave. And I was like, I'll pay for this at another day. Yeah. If anything happens to me, repercussion-wise for stealing it, and I don't get to pay for it, I'm finding that guy and I'm kicking the fucking shit out of him. But the fact that he was genuine changed my whole mindset. Yeah. I think what I value, honestly, is life itself. But the question is, what do you value most in life? So I'm going to go with gratefulness. Yeah. When someone's grateful, I'm happy to do the most insane, mundane, time-consuming, expensive, draining tasks for anyone. If they're grateful, it was worth doing so. Yeah, you know? That's it. I love grateful. Yeah. Genuine is a great answer.
Yeah, for real.
All right, we'll do one more. What virtue would you like to have more of in your life? I might answer this one first because you've been answering the other ones first. So I'll answer this one first. I think what I would like to have more in my life is time management. I think I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah.
I feel like I get a lot of shit done through the week, but there's still a lot of shit I would like to get done on top of what I do. Yeah. Which is kind of crazy if you are in my own head and you understand what I try and prioritize above other things, but I need to be able to allocate a slot for things instead of just giving things an unlimited amount of time and prioritizing things and letting other things fall behind because I spent 4 hours hanging out with this person or I spent 2 hours doing this task. Maybe if I could manage my day properly, I feel like I could be the next fucking Bill Gates, Kevin Hart, David Goggins, Jordan Peterson, Andrew Tate. Yeah. I feel like the time management is what's holding me back. You know what I mean? I've got the imagination, I've got the drive, I've got the motivation. I just haven't got the management. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I would want more in my life. What about you?
I think, I don't know, it's probably maybe a bit more, say, like maybe motivation in a sense or, I don't even know, like a combo of like, maybe a bit more motivated or less, I don't know, maybe like overwhelmed about stuff because like, like recently like got like diagnosed with ADHD, which was like, fuck, okay, like, righto, that explains a lot of things, man, and like a big part of that for me is like being, say, like overwhelmed with stuff, man, because it's you just wired up a bit differently, respond to my environment differently, and so sometimes I'll kind of get overwhelmed with heaps of shit happening. It's kind of comes into time management too, man, where it's like, fuck, man, I've got all this stuff to do and I struggle to kind of bring it all together and do shit. And I think it kind of comes from like that feeling of being overwhelmed. I lose that motivation where it's like, fuck, everything's a little bit too hard. I need to, fuck, I'll do it later, or fuck, you know. So it's kind of maybe those two things. I feel like I could do a lot more with myself if I kind of had the ability. Well, maybe just kind of pulled my finger out a bit more and went, fuck, righto, like, nah, just do it now. Like, I have a bit of a tendency to do a bit of like the old, she'll be right, like. Yeah. But I've worked on that. I'm much better than what I was, but it's still something I think where I need to pull my fucking finger out of it sometimes and go, righto, fucking just stop, mate. Stop making the excuses. Just fucking do it. Yeah. So that's probably one big thing I'd say is holding me back with a lot of stuff is just that motivation stuff as well. It's kind of tied into a lot of other things, but generally speaking, if, you know, all those things kind of come into place, then I'll be more motivated and, to do stuff.
It kind of sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm kind of picking up you kind of want more motivation is kind of like the bracket, put it in, but it's more focus. You know what I mean? Like, because you feel overwhelmed about a lot of things that you're not...
No, not even focus in a sense, because I'm very focused on stuff, the stuff that I like, or, you know, things where you get that bit of hyper focus. You're like, fuck, man, I'm going to delve into this one. I can be extremely focused when I need to be, or focused on the wrong things. Yeah. But no, it's definitely the overwhelmingness about it, because it's kind of strange where it's, like I can get really focused on one thing and I love doing that, or it's really interesting me at the time. But when I've got other stuff going on, it probably is focus, being able to share that focus or point my focus from this to that. But when I'm kind of in a state of I need to do this and there's a lot of other things going on, it's like, fuck, this is overwhelming. Yeah. Or even just because I have to spread my focus so thinly, it's like, fuck, man, how do what do I do first? How do I do this? I got this, or fuck, I forgot to do this. And it's like living life literally every day, like taking it as it comes. I'm shocking, man. I'm surprised they even remembered that I had to come up this weekend. You know, but it is a bit of focus stuff.
Because that's attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And what's helped me navigate through, especially going into adulthood, where it's like before everything's just momentarily, you know, everything's just what's the fucking goal at the moment, and I'm so obsessed with the moment that everything else kind of falls like in the back burner. You don't think about it, you forget things, you forget a lot of shit. What definitely helped me was the time management side of like devoting. Bro, I couldn't watch a movie before without being distracted about something else. But then when I was lost in the movie, I was the main character. But what helped me was, I think, the ability to give myself focus on completing things like TV series, completing movies, completing podcasts.
Yeah.
But then now if I give myself half an hour to read, focus on that half an hour, then as soon as I finish it, I've given myself the slot.
Yeah.
That's now gone.
That's the slot. That's
I don't have to think about that. It really deletes it from your perspective. And then one thing that helps me with that too is ask Siri all day. Tell Siri, remind me this time, remind me this time, remind me. And it's hard, but if you do keep a journal, it helps so much. And it's helped me as I go into my mid-20s now from being Delvin taught me a word for it, but it's something to do with like spreading of energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like your energy is in all different things at once instead of devoting it to certain things when you should devote it to. Was keeping a journal. A journal that's strictly task related. So it's like a day-to-day schedule of what do you want to achieve on Tuesday. And you write down, edit this video, call back this person, reply to my messages on Instagram. It could be clean my car. You know, just easy things. And
journaling. Sorry, mate.
And it can be as easy as like what I want to do at work, what I want to do after work, what I want to achieve at the gym. But you just give yourself a clear indication for what you need to do when you need to do it. Journaling helps.
I agree. Definitely. I think the biggest thing, especially with journaling, is getting the information you need to remember out of your head, write it down, and that way you're not thinking about it because you know it's in the journal. It's like I bought a whiteboard, right? So I don't really use it, but let's say even when we worked out what come up this weekend, I wrote it on the whiteboard, man. It's gonna have it in my room. I just look at it. Like, that's out of my brain now. I don't need to fucking worry about trying to remember that thing, because that's a huge thing with me. Is like I'll fucking have a conversation or with someone, or let's plan this, man. I forget instantly, but it's good now that I kind of, or I'll be like racking it around my brain, like, all right, remember to do this, and then you kind of like a bit focused on that and not other things. But write it down, get it out of your head, physically see it. Works. It's good. So
good shit. All right, well, there's one final question that I have to ask you, but before I ask you, I have to say thank you so much for coming and doing this episode with me, bro. It was not long enough. I have never done a podcast yet and been so unfulfilled with the amount
we're kind of pressed for time at the moment, I'd love to fucking go.
This could have been my longest pod, to be honest,
Easy.
ever. This could have easily been. This could have been a 6-hour pod.
I have to do the sequel, mate.
So we'll definitely have to be doing a
follow
part
up.
2.
Follow up,
because I've already it won't be called part 2 because it'll probably be part 1, part 2, but it'll be I need this. To be honest, I don't want this. I need this to happen again. I need this to happen
absolutely.
Again. So grateful for the effort you've put in, bro, to come and do this episode with me. And I will come and see you next before you come and do the podcast with me next.
Yeah,
so I make that promise to you.
Yeah, of course.
The last question I ask is the same question I ask everyone that comes on, and it's just in case someone who hears you say it needed to hear it from a way that someone else could have said it. You know, everyone's got a different answer to the question,
right? Yeah,
and I feel like the way someone says something might be the thing that someone needs to hear.
Yeah.
So, if someone came to you for advice because they were feeling depressed, mostly because they were just lost, what advice would you say to that person?
Fuck, that's a good one. Because that was one thing I definitely struggled with as well. Was that feeling of being lost, and because I've been there, you know, and for me, it's hard because I didn't really get out of that by any means of fucking anything. Mine was more like the ADHD, the diagnosis, man, because it was like once getting on like stimulant drugs, for example, like like dexamphetamine and stuff. For me, being able to, I guess, think now more clearly and all that was a big thing for me, and that kind of got me out of being lost, gave me direction. So, but I wouldn't say to someone, "Oh, bro, just pop fucking 30 milligrams of Dexy a day, dude." I would probably say, I guess in the same vein of that would be like, find the root cause. You know, why do you feel lost, or is there, even if there is no particular reason as why you feel lost? Well, you know, are you healthy? Is there something that needs to be sorted out for you to feel better and find direction? Because I don't think it's easy as sometimes where it's just you're lost because you are. there's some reason why you haven't got direction. You know, are you like insecure about something? How's your self-confidence? You know, are you exercising, or like, are you feeling good? You know, and I think for me, I wouldn't even know the answer to that question, man, which is crazy, because it's like I probably still almost are in that a bit, not feeling lost necessarily now, definitely have direction, but yeah, I don't know. I'd probably urge the person to fucking just get shit checked out. Really think about, well, are you happy with what you're doing? What are your passions? If you don't have any passions, well, what's something you think you'd like? You know, start at the things you enjoy, build from there. You know, and I don't know. So I guess sometimes it's almost a process of life. You're gonna go through a stage where you are lost and you're feeling a bit depressed, man. So I think maybe even in a sense, I'd remind someone and say, hey, it's completely normal what you're feeling. Don't get in your head about it, man. Everyone at one point feels lost. They might get a bit existential. Fuck, what am I here for? Why? Like, where's my direction? What's the point? I'd say the point is whatever you want to make it. You know, they always talk about the meaning of life. The way I look at it is there is no meaning, but you got to give it meaning, you know? So I don't think it's set in stone. So, yeah, try and find your purpose, you know, and don't be too hard on yourself. I think one thing as well, you know, you get like you can put a lot of pressure on yourself and you're freaked out like, fuck, I'm lost, and just breathe, man. Take a step back and be nice to yourself. You know, you might be struggling with some things, and hey, man, that's tough. Don't beat yourself up over it. So I think be a combination to sum it up. Yeah. Because I probably was a bit of a fucking. I was yapping a bit there, to be honest.
But I was quiet, bro, because I was loving it. That's why I was quiet.
But I'd say it's probably would be just take a step back. Understand, man, it happens. It's natural. Everyone feels that way. You're no different from me or anyone else. Probably the most successful people or someone you'd look up to. I mean, they would have felt lost at one point in time too. Yeah. So it'd be take a step back. You know, understand it's all good. It's natural to feel that way. You know, and just get raw with yourself. What do you like? What do you like doing? And just understand.
Don't be too hard on yourself.
Don't be too hard on yourself. Yeah. I think that's perfect answer, to sum it up. Yeah, probably, and don't be too hard on yourself. You know,
perfect answer.
All links up. Yeah.
I think that the main thing that I take out of that is that not only is everyone lost, like everyone's been lost, everyone's lost now.
Yeah.
Everyone's lost. Everyone's looking for the next thing. You know, you might be on a journey, which, as you said, it's about the process, but it's when you've achieved that, you realize at the end of it that wasn't even the thing you're chasing. It's the process in which of chasing something. That
it's not the destination. It's the journey.
Yeah, it's the best. It's the best quote of all time because it's so perfect. It's about that with everything you do, and you're lost because you don't have a purpose, you know, and your purpose is that you don't have a journey. You can't have a journey without having something to work towards. It's a new PB at the gym. It's a pay rise at work. It's a girl that you really fancy, or a boy if you're a girl, or if you're gay or whatever. It's
or
like,
whatever you are. I mean,
whatever you are.
Pansexual, man. You get in the kitchen looking at those fry pans, bros, man. Yeah, okay, do it, man.
I don't care if what you choose to believe, but we ain't spending any more of those fucking taxpayers, man.
But I ain't spending any time on it because every 3 months someone's ripped to pieces by a crocodile in North Queensland. Bob Carter, there was a fucking another one that just come out like that. He was blowing up about something and then just changed up. He's the cat, man. He's funny.
Champion. But that's as you said, bro, it's all about not being too hard on yourself because everyone is lost, bro. It's important to understand that, and it's just.
I want to come back to a point after you finished.
And all I was getting at was I'm just literally just echoing what you said, bro.
One thing actually. I think this would be advice as well. With say feeling lost and stuff, and this this is a big lesson I learned as well, and this kind of links in to say the ADHD stuff as well. And this is I guess a lesson you can definitely take if you don't have it. It's just a well-rounded thing. There's a big thing, like a lot of people who are ADHD. I hate to say that, you know, I don't know, this is another thing, a bit of a ramble, but when people are like, oh, I'm neurally divergent and stuff, I don't buy into that. You're just ADHD, man. You're not.
Yeah.
There's neurodivergent can also mean autistic people and stuff as well. It's one thing we say with ADHD, people, they get real like down on themselves. It's like, fuck, man, you know, I can never stick to a task, dude. I have a hobby for 3 weeks and then I'm done with it and change it up and, you know, oh, fuck, I just can't find my thing. And you can relate that to the feeling of being lost, right, in general. And I used to be like that too. Like, fuck, I can never just sink my teeth into anything. But then I've reframed it and I look at it this way is like, well, for me, that's how my brain works. That's how I am. Play that to your advantage, man. Like if I get really obsessed with something for 3 weeks, mate, I've learned something new. You know, I've got a new experience and I want to move on to the next thing. Fuck yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm so much more well-rounded now because I've tried it, got bored with it, but now the next thing. And, you know, I think I have a really kind of good like general overview of a lot of things because I just always try stuff. So I don't think of it as I can't stick to something. I just want to learn. I'm curious. I've done that. I'm happy. I feel fulfilled with this thing. Now I know enough about it that I can move on to the next thing. So if you're lost, don't be scared to try things either.
Yeah,
like, you know, it's kind of as you were saying with the journey. Mate, have a go. Don't like it, mate, you had a go. Congrats. Move on to the next thing. So just keep going through. Don't beat yourself up. You get a job and you go, fuck this. Mate, you had to try.
Yeah.
And now you know a little bit more about something as well. So,
yeah.
That'd be a good advice as well.
Perfect advice. Lachie, perfect episode, bro. I'm super fucking grateful for him. Super grateful for everything. I can't wait to do another one with you. I'm sorry we have to wrap it up. We're definitely going past our time limit on it. Like, as I said, bro, I could do it all day.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And thanks for having me, man, as well. Podcast, that's awesome. First ever one. Kind of always wanted to do one, eh? Like, have a yap, have a ramble, mate.
Yeah. But we'll be doing another one. Don't you worry about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Right. Beautiful. Good episode.
Well done.
That's all right.
Shawty catch a vibe, yeah, I had to put her on. Bought a two-seater, yeah, we heading for the sun. Shawty going high, I ain't tripping for the funds. Yeah, I won't start, I ain't tripping, I'm a stunt.